Hello, fellow travelers. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or someone gearing up for your very first flight, we all know that navigating airport security can be, well, a little overwhelming. But don't worry, I've got you covered. In 2025, the TSA has rolled out some major updates to carry-on rules that might catch you off guard if you're not prepared. From stricter size limits to evolving liquid restrictions and even new tech at security checkpoints, these changes could make or break your travel experience. But guess what? With the right tips, you can breeze through security like a pro and avoid those dreaded gate check fees or awkward last-minute repacking sessions. This video is designed for anyone who's ever felt the panic of not knowing if their bag will pass inspection, or who wants to save time, money, and stress on their next trip. So if you're curious about how to master these new rules and travel smarter in 2025, you're in the right place. And hey, before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Travel Vibes community. We share tips, hacks, and inspiration to make your journeys unforgettable. Ready? Let's take off. Rule 1. Unified carry-on size standards. Alright, let's start with something that's going to affect almost everyone. Carry-on size limits. For the first time, airlines across the globe have agreed on a universal standard size for carry-on luggage: 22 by 14 by 9 inches, 56 by 36 by 23 centimeters, including the handles and wheels. Sounds straightforward, right? But here's where things get tricky. Over 60% of the carry-on bags people are using today don't meet this new standard. Now, if you're someone who's used the same trusty suitcase for years, maybe even decades, this could be a bit of a shock. I know a lot of us, especially seniors who've mastered the art of packing light, tend to hang on to luggage that's familiar and reliable. But in 2025, that beloved bag might not make the cut. And trust me, you don't want to deal with the stress of last-minute gate checking or those surprise fees that seem designed to drain your wallet. Even worse, airlines are upgrading those dreaded size-checking bins, and there's no more sneaking oversized bags through the gate. If your bag doesn't fit, it's getting flagged. It's that simple. So what can you do? First, grab a tape measure and check your bag now. Don't forget to measure the handles and wheels, they count too. If it's time to upgrade, don't feel pressured to spend a fortune. Look for lightweight, durable luggage that's built to meet these standards and is easy to maneuver, especially if you have trouble lifting heavier items. Here's a tip I always recommend. Keep your most important items in your personal bag. Things like your passport, medications, or even a favorite book for the flight. That way, if you have to gate check your carry-on, you'll still have everything you truly need close by. By staying ahead of this new rule, you'll save yourself time, money, and plenty of frustration. And let's be honest, who doesn't want a smoother airport experience? Next up, we're tackling something that's going to weigh heavily, literally, on all of us. Rule 2. Weight limits. Get serious now. Let's talk about something that could literally weigh down your trip: the new carry-on weight limits. In 2025, airlines are cracking down harder than ever, with most limiting carry-ons to between 17 and 22 pounds, 8 to 10 kilograms. If that sounds manageable, here's the kicker. Some airports have even installed scales at check-in kiosks to weigh your bag before you make it to security. Imagine this. You've packed for your trip, feeling confident, only to discover your bag is overweight. Suddenly, you're at the airport, scrambling to move items between bags, or worse, being hit with extra fees. It's stressful, and no one wants that. So how can you stay ahead of this rule? Start by investing in a luggage scale and weighing your bag at home before you leave. This small step saves a lot of hassle later. And let's not forget the magic of packing strategically. If you've got bulky items like jackets, boots, or even that favorite travel sweater, wear them on the plane. Sure, it might not be the most fashionable move, but it'll free up space and lighten your load. For those of you traveling with family, especially with grandkids or a partner, here's a smart move. Share the load. Kids and light packers usually have extra weight allowance in their bags, so why not take advantage? And if you're someone who loves to stay organized, packing cubes are a game changer. They keep everything tidy and compress bulky items so you can fit more without overloading your bag. And here's something many travelers overlook. If you're carrying professional equipment like cameras or laptops, check your airline's media bag policy. Some carriers allow additional weight or extra items for work-related gear, which can be a lifesaver for photographers or digital nomads. With these tips in mind, you'll not only stay within the weight limits, but also avoid those awkward moments at the airport. Up next, we're tackling a rule that's evolving fast, one that might just change how you pack your liquids forever. Rule 3. Evolving liquid restrictions. Let's dive into a rule that's finally starting to loosen up: liquid restrictions. You've probably heard of the infamous 3-1-1 rule, which limits liquids to containers of 3-4 ounces, 100 milliliters or less, all packed into a quart-sized bag. Well, here's some exciting news. At certain airports, that rule is gradually being phased out. Thanks to advancements in scanning technology, some airports now allow travelers to bring full-sized liquid containers in their carry-ons. Imagine the freedom of not having to transfer shampoo or lotion into tiny travel bottles. But before you get too excited, here's the reality check. Not all airports have adopted these changes yet. Some still enforce the traditional 3-1-1 rule, and if your trip involves connecting flights, you might face conflicting rules along the way. So, how do you handle this evolving situation? First, play it safe. Even if your departure airport is more relaxed, pack small, travel-sized containers to avoid any surprises at your destination or during the layover. And don't forget to use a resealable pouch to keep everything organized and accessible during security checks. It makes the process smoother for you and for the people waiting behind you in line. Staying informed is also key. Regulations can vary not just by country but even by airport, so make it a habit to double-check policies before your trip. This small step ensures you're not caught off guard and can enjoy a stress-free experience. With liquid restrictions becoming more flexible, this rule might just make packing easier in the future. But until then, being cautious is your best bet. Up next, we're talking about something every traveler uses but often overlooks: personal items. Stay tuned. Rule 4. Personal items. Know the new size limits. Let's talk about your personal item, the unsung hero of travel. You know, that purse, laptop bag, or trusty backpack you tuck under the seat in front of you? Well, in 2025, airlines are tightening the rules, and it's more important than ever to know the new size limits. Your personal item now needs to fit within 18 by 14 by 8 inches, 45 by 35 by 20 centimeters. That might sound generous, but let's face it, when you're trying to squeeze in everything from your tablet to a snack for the flight, space disappears fast. And here's the deal. If your personal item doesn't meet the new requirements, you might be forced to check it, which can lead to unnecessary fees and inconvenience. So, how do you make the most of this smaller space? Choose your bag wisely. Go for something lightweight and multifunctional, with compartments to keep everything organized. Think of it as your travel toolkit, a bag that holds your electronics, important documents, medications, and even your favorite snacks for the journey. But here's the real trick. Go compact. Smaller bags not only meet the airline standards, but also make your boarding process much smoother. No struggling to jam your bag under the seat or worry about blocking the aisle while everyone waits. For seniors, this rule is especially practical. Having a well-organized, easy-to-access bag ensures you're not fumbling for essentials mid-flight. Plus, a compact personal item can help avoid unnecessary strain or lifting during your trip. By mastering this new rule, you'll not only stay within the guidelines, but also enjoy a more comfortable and stress-free journey. Next, we're tackling a rule that's evolving faster than ever. What you need to know about liquids. Stay tuned. Rule 5. Electronics and power banks. Let's move on to a rule that could make or break your trip: electronics and power banks. In 2025, TSA has tightened regulations to ensure every device you bring on board is ready to go. That means all electronics must be able to power on during security checks. A dead device? It won't pass screening, and you could end up parting ways with your tech right there at the checkpoint. When it comes to power banks, the rules are clear but crucial to follow. Power banks rated at under 100 watt-hours? No problem. Bring them along. Between 100 and 160 watt-hours, you'll need airline approval before your trip. Anything over 160 watt-hours, strictly prohibited. So, double-check the watt-hour rating on your power bank. It's usually printed right on the device. And let's not forget about lithium batteries. Most airlines cap the number of devices you can bring at 15 to 20 per passenger. While that sounds like plenty, it adds up fast when you count your phone, laptop, earbuds, and maybe even a backup camera or tablet. Smart tips for smooth travel. Always pack charging cables in your personal item. This ensures easy access during the flight or if you need to power up at the gate. Double-check watt-hour ratings for all devices and batteries. It's a small step that prevents major hassles at security. Be selective. Prioritize essential electronics and leave the non-essentials at home. Traveling light not only simplifies your experience but also keeps you within the airline's limits. For seniors, these rules are particularly important. Ensuring your devices are charged and accessible can make navigating the airport and staying connected during your trip far less stressful. By understanding these updated electronics rules, you'll avoid disruptions and keep your gadgets ready for action. Coming up next, we'll tackle the rules around smart luggage. Because yes, even your suitcase might have tech rules now. Rule 6. Smart luggage requirements. Now, let's talk about smart luggage, the high-tech bags that have made travel so much more convenient. Whether it's charging your phone or tracking your bag's location, these innovations are a game changer. But in 2025, there's an important rule you need to know. If your smart luggage has a built-in battery, it must be removable. Here's the issue. Airlines have banned bags with non-removable batteries from flights. Why? Safety. Lithium batteries can pose a fire risk, and the ability to remove them ensures they can be handled safely during transit. To avoid problems, always check your smart luggage specifications before traveling. If the battery is removable, you're good to go. If not, it might be time to invest in a new bag. A little preparation ensures your trip goes off without a hitch. Stay ahead of the rules, and your smart luggage can remain a stress-free companion on every journey. Next, we'll dive into the overhead bin drama and how to ensure your carry-on gets the space it deserves. Rule 7. Overhead bin wars. Let's face it, overhead bin space is now one of the most sought-after commodities in air travel. With more passengers vying for limited space, the competition has become intense. To make things even trickier, some airlines are now assigning bin space based on ticket class, giving priority to premium passengers, while economy travelers are left scrambling. So, how do you avoid the overhead bin drama? First, board as early as possible. Keep a close eye on your boarding group and be ready to act quickly when called. Second, opt for compact carry-ons that are easy to stow in smaller spaces. A smaller bag not only complies with size rules but also increases your chances of finding space. Finally, pack strategically by keeping your essentials, like electronics, snacks, or medications, in a personal item that fits under the seat in front of you. This way, even if the bin space is full, you'll have what you need within easy reach. Up next, we'll explore how to master these changes and make your travels even smoother. Rule 8. Strict prohibitions on certain items. When it comes to carry-ons, not everything is welcome on board. The TSA enforces strict rules on banned items to ensure everyone's safety. These include flammable substances like lighter fluid or camping fuel, toxic chemicals such as pesticides or bleach, and high-proof alcohols with over 70% ABV. Yes, that means no Everclear or similar spirits. If you're unsure whether an item is allowed, don't leave it to chance. Use the TSA's Ask TSA tool. Simply send a photo or description of the item via social media, and a TSA agent will confirm if it's permitted. This quick step can save you from unnecessary delays or having to part with your belongings at security. Knowing what's off limits is key to a hassle-free travel experience. Next, we'll wrap up with tips to make navigating these rules second nature. Traveling in 2025 might feel overwhelming with all these new rules, but with the right preparation, it doesn't have to be. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or someone gearing up for a long-awaited trip, measuring your bags, checking their weight, and staying informed about airport-specific policies can make all the difference. These small steps mean fewer surprises at security and more time to focus on what really matters, enjoying your journey. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any personal tips or stories about navigating the new TSA rules? Share them in the comments below and help fellow travelers stay ahead of the game. And if you found this guide helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Travel Vibes community. We're here to make every trip smoother, smarter, and a little more fun. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the skies.